Far away in the dark reaches of space, a large alien ship drifted silently. This ship was from the Zalari Union, a peaceful group of alien worlds known for trading goods and knowledge across the galaxy. Their ship was called the Aurora Star. It was a cargo vessel, carrying important supplies back to their home planets. But now the Aurora Star was in trouble. The ship had been caught in a powerful gravity storm near a dead star. The storm was like a giant whirlpool in space, twisting and pulling everything inside it. The Aurora Star's engines struggled to hold position, but damage to their systems made it almost impossible. Lights flickered, alarms rang out, and the ship's crew worked quickly to fix the problems. Captain Yara, the leader of the Aurora Star, stood in the control room. She was tall and calm, with sharp eyes that never missed a detail. Around her, the crew moved with nervous energy. They all knew their situation was bad, but none wanted to lose hope. Suddenly, the ship's communications officer shouted, "Captain! We are being scanned. Unknown ships are approaching." Outside the viewing window, tiny blips appeared on the radar. A fleet of fast, sharp-edged ships, pirates. They were from the Qatari, a cruel and insect-like species known for attacking traders and stealing cargo. The Qatari had been hunting the Aurora Star for days, waiting for a chance to strike. Captain Yara made a quick decision. "Send a distress call to any nearby ships. We need help." The communications officer nodded and sent out a desperate message. "This is the Aurora Star of the Zalari Union. We are trapped in a gravity storm near Sector 9. We are under attack by Qatari pirates. Request immediate assistance. Our position is 17.4 by 92.1 by 12.6. The message was sent into the cold emptiness of space. The Zalari hoped that someone, anyone, would hear their call. Back on Earth, in the Sol Defense Command Center, the distress signal suddenly appeared on the giant communication screen. Commander Leah Vasquez, a calm and experienced officer, leaned forward to read the message. "Zalari cargo ship in danger," she said softly. "Pirates are attacking near a gravity storm. This is serious." Earth had never received a direct distress call from an alien ship before. Many believed Earth was still too small and weak to be noticed by advanced species like the Zalari. But here was proof. An alien crew needed help, and Earth was the closest hope. Leah looked around at her team. "We have one pilot ready. Elias Mercer. He's our best fighter pilot. Prepare Valkyrie fighter for immediate launch. This mission is critical." Across the command room, technicians worked quickly, activating the sleek Valkyrie spacecraft. This ship was the pride of Earth's defense fleet. Fast, strong, and equipped with the latest technology, the Valkyrie was designed to fight in the toughest battles. In the hangar, Elias Mercer stood beside the fighter. He was calm but alert, his eyes sharp under the helmet. Known as the Hawk, Elias had earned his name from his incredible skill and quick reflexes in the sky. He was fearless, and Earth trusted him with their most dangerous missions. "Ready to fly, Commander?" Leah asked, stepping beside him. Elias nodded. "Ready. Let's save some lives." The Valkyrie launched from Earth's orbit, speeding through space like a silver arrow. Elias set a direct course for the coordinates given by the Zalari distress call. Every second counted. Meanwhile, aboard the Aurora Star, Captain Yara watched the pirate ships closing in. Their weapons systems were damaged, and they had only a few defenses left. The crew prepared for a fight they hoped would never come. "Corrid. On," Yara said quietly. "Help is coming." Elias's fighter broke through the edge of the gravity storm. Outside his cockpit, swirling clouds of gas and energy twisted like giant waves. The storm made sensors go crazy, making it hard to see or communicate. But Elias trusted his training and the Valkyrie systems. Suddenly, red dots appeared on his radar. Qatari fighters. They had spotted him and were moving to attack. "Contact," Elias muttered. His hands moved quickly over the controls, launching flares and activating stealth systems. The battle was about to begin. The Qatari ships were fast and aggressive, but Elias was faster. He danced through space with skill and courage, dodging lasers and missiles. The Valkyrie's weapons fired in precise bursts, disabling enemy ships one by one. Back on the Aurora Star, the crew watched in amazement as Elias fought the pirate fleet. They sent messages of thanks, hope growing stronger in their hearts. "Captain," Yara smiled faintly. "Earth's top pilot, he's more than we dreamed." The pirates, stunned by Elias's skill, began to retreat. But they did not give up easily. The fight was far from over. Elias pushed the Valkyrie harder, knowing the Aurora Star could not last long without repairs. The gravity storm churned around them, and every move could be their last. But Elias Mercer was determined to save the alien crew. For the first time, humanity was stepping into the larger galaxy stage, not as weaklings, but as warriors with heart. And this was only the beginning. Commander Elias Mercer tightened his grip on the controls as the Valkyrie darted through the swirling clouds of the gravity storm. Outside the cockpit window, the sky was a blur of shifting colors and strange light, like a cosmic storm raging in slow motion. The air was silent, but his heart beat loud and steady. This was no ordinary battle. The Qatari pirates were closing in fast. Their sharp, insect-like ships buzzed like angry hornets, surrounding Elias from all sides. Their weapons glowed bright and deadly, ready to strike. Elias smiled slightly. This was the moment he had trained for all his life. The Valkyrie was Earth's most advanced fighter, a ship designed for speed, stealth, and power. It moved like a shadow, weaving between deadly beams and missile trails. The cockpit's advanced systems fed Elias constant information, enemy positions, ship status, and tactical options. But it was his own instincts and skill that made the difference. "Target locked," Elias said calmly, launching a volley of plasma bolts at the nearest Qatari fighter. The enemy ship exploded in a flash of fire and debris. One down. But there were more. The Qatari fought fiercely. Their ships swarmed around the Aurora Star, desperate to capture the cargo vessel before help could arrive. They were ruthless, pirates, and no one had dared to challenge them before, until now. Back on the Aurora Star, Captain Yara watched Elias's attack through the ship's communications feed. The Zalari crew cheered quietly as they saw the human fighter destroy enemy ships with speed and precision. "He fights like a myth," Yara said, eyes wide. "A legend come to life." The pirates were stunned by Elias's skill. They had expected an easy victory, but this human pilot was different, brave, clever, and fast. Still, there were too many of them, and Elias knew he couldn't hold them off forever. Sending new coordinates to Earth Command, Elias said to Leah Vasquez, his mission control back home. "They need to know the situation." Leah's voice came through the radio, calm and steady. "Copy that, Hawk. Backup is on the way, but it will take time. You're on your own for now." Elias nodded. He was used to flying solo in impossible situations. This was not the first time Earth had sent him to the front lines, but it was the first time against an alien threat this dangerous. Suddenly, one of the Qatari ships tried to flank him from the left. Elias flipped the Valkyrie in a sharp roll, firing a precise missile that destroyed the attacker before it could strike. "Too many," Elias muttered. "I need a plan." He scanned the storm ahead, looking for a way to use the environment to his advantage. The gravity storm was dangerous, but it also created chaos the pirates might not handle well. Elias's eyes locked on a narrow gap in the storm's swirling clouds, a risky shortcut that could help him escape the enemy or draw them into trouble. Without hesitation, he shouted, "Hang on! I'm taking us into the storm." The Valkyrie accelerated toward the gap. The Qatari ships followed, eager to finish the fight. Inside the gravity storm, space itself seemed to bend and twist. Bright streaks of energy crackled around Elias's ship, and sensors flickered wildly. The storm made it hard to track enemies or stay on course. But Elias's instincts were sharp. He felt the storm's rhythm, moving with it instead of fighting against it. The Qatari ships struggled to keep up. One by one, they began to lose control, crashing into invisible waves of gravity or colliding with each other. "Come on," Elias whispered, pushing the Valkyrie harder. "You can't beat me." Back on the Aurora Star, the Zalari crew watched breathless as the battle moved into the storm. They had never seen a human pilot so fearless, so skilled. Captain Yara spoke. Into the comm. "Hawk, we are repairing our shields. Hold on a little longer." Elias nodded even though they couldn't see him. He was fighting not just for the Zalari crew, but for all of Earth's future in the galaxy. As the last few Qatari ships faltered, Elias's eyes caught a new blip on his radar, an unknown vessel lurking just beyond the storm's edge. It was bigger, more heavily armed and moving fast. "A trap," Elias said. "They're waiting for me." But there was no turning back. If Elias pulled away now, the Aurora Star would be left alone, easy prey for the remaining pirates. Elias's jaw tightened. "Then I'll make sure they regret it." He set the Valkyrie into a steep dive, aiming straight for the unknown ship. His engines roared, the fighter glowing with power. In the control center on Earth, Leah watched the screen with growing respect. "Go get them, Hawk." The Valkyrie and the big pirate ship clashed in a storm of light and fire. Lasers shot across the sky, missiles exploded, and the two fighters twisted and turned in a deadly dance. Elias's skill and courage pushed the Valkyrie through impossible moves. The big ship fired heavy cannons, but Elias dodged every blast. Finally, Elias found an opening. He launched a powerful blast of energy that hit the enemy's engine. The pirate ship shuddered and exploded in a brilliant fireball. The remaining Qatari ships, now leaderless and broken, began to retreat. Elias breathed hard but smiled behind his helmet. One step closer. Back on the Aurora Star, cheers filled the ship. Captain Yara and her crew were safe, at least for now. But Elias knew this was just the start. The galaxy was watching, and Earth was ready to fight for its place. After the fiery explosion of the large pirate ship, the remaining Qatari fighters hesitated. Their formation broke and confusion spread among them like wildfire. Commander Elias Mercer saw his chance. With a steady breath, Elias pushed the Valkyrie forward, weaving through the dark clouds of the gravity storm. His fighter moved like a ghost, quick and silent. The pirates were strong in numbers, but Elias had something they did not: sharp instincts and unmatched skill. The Qatari buzzed around him, firing deadly energy beams and launching missiles. But Elias was faster. He dodged and twisted with precision, making every move count. "Target, down," Elias said as another enemy ship burst into flames. One by one, the pirate fighters fell. On the Aurora Star, the Zalari crew watched in amazement. Captain Yara's eyes were wide with hope. "The human fights like the legends of old," she said softly. "There is something special in him." Despite his success, Elias knew the battle was far from over. The pirates still had numbers, and the gravity storm made every moment dangerous. If he stayed to protect the Zalari ship, the pirates might surround him. Elias's mind raced. He needed a plan, one that would save the Aurora Star and give Earth time to send backup. Suddenly, an idea formed. Instead of staying with the cargo ship, Elias decided to lead the pirates away. He would become the storm itself. A single force, so wild and fast that the enemy could not catch him. With a clear voice, Elias spoke to Leah at Earth Command. "I'm going to draw the pirates away from the Aurora Star. Hold on tight and send reinforcements as fast as you can." Leah's reply was firm, but worried. "Be careful, Hawk. You're on your own." Elias nodded. The Valkyrie dove deeper into the storm. The swirling clouds and energy waves would become his shield and weapon. The Qatari immediately noticed the change. Their focus shifted from the Aurora Star to Elias's lone fighter. They charged after him with new fury, hoping to trap him in the storm's deadly grip. Elias smiled behind his helmet. This was his chance. Using the Valkyrie's advanced stealth systems, Elias flickered in and out of sensor detection. The pirates were left guessing where he would appear next. His movements were unpredictable, fast and sharp. One moment he would zip over a cloud of energy, dodging blasts. The next he would dive into a narrow gap between space debris, forcing the pursuers to slow or crash. The gravity storm raged around him, twisting space and time in strange ways. Elias felt the pressure and danger, but he did not falter. Every twist, every turn was a dance with death, and Elias was the master dancer. As the pirates struggled to keep up, several crashed into the storm's invisible waves. Their ships exploded in bursts of light, swallowed by the chaotic storm. The Aurora Star crew watched in silent hope. Captain Yara's voice was steady, but full of awe. "He is a ghost in the storm. He is saving us." Elias knew he was buying time for the Zilari to repair their ship and for Earth's fleet to arrive. But the storm was growing stronger and his fighter was taking damage. A sharp alarm sounded in the Valkyrie's cockpit. A missile locked onto him. "Not today," Elias said, twisting sharply and firing a countermeasure that destroyed the missile mid-air. But his shields were weakening. Another hit could end the fight. Suddenly, Elias spotted a narrow opening in the storm's core, a risky but possible way out. "If I can make it through there," he thought, "I can lose them." With steady hands, Elias aimed the Valkyrie toward the opening. The storm howled around him, pulling and pushing with unseen forces. The Qatari pursued relentlessly, but Elias was faster. With a powerful burst of speed, he shot through the gap. For a moment, silence. The storm's roar faded, and the stars appeared again. But Elias was not alone. Ahead, a fleet of unknown ships waited in the dark. These ships were larger and more dangerous than any he had seen before. Their designs were strange, unfamiliar, but their intent was clear. The pirates were not just random criminals. They were part of a bigger force watching Earth, and now Elias had walked into their trap. Elias's heart pounded. He understood now that this fight was not only about saving the Aurora Star, it was about protecting Earth's place in the galaxy. He, prepared for the next battle, his resolve stronger than ever. Back on the Aurora Star, the Zilari crew repaired their ship, hope renewed by Elias's bravery. They began to understand that Earth was no longer a small, quiet world. Humans were warriors, protectors, and legends in the making. As Elias faced the larger enemy fleet, he whispered, "I'm just getting started." Commander Elias Mercer's Valkyrie fighter flashed through the empty blackness of space, the distant stars glittering like diamonds against the darkness. But he didn't have time to admire the beauty. Ahead, a fleet of enemy ships waited, their weapons glowing ominously, ready to strike. Elias knew this was the trap the Qatari pirates had set. Their small fighters had been only the beginning. Now a larger force, more powerful and more dangerous one, was closing in. This was no longer just a rescue mission. This was a battle for survival. He tightened his grip on the controls. "All right," he muttered. "Let's dance." The Valkyrie darted forward at top speed, heading toward a dangerous region known as the Gravity Storm's Eye. Space here was twisted and wild, with waves of energy and powerful gravity pulling at the fighter like invisible hands. The enemy ships followed closely, their engines roaring. They believed they had him trapped. But Elias had a plan. He guided the Valkyrie deep into the heart of the storm, weaving through the swirling clouds and dangerous energy currents. The storm was like a living beast, unpredictable and violent. Most pilots would have turned back in fear. But Elias was not most pilots. Using the Valkyrie's advanced systems and his own sharp instincts, he danced with the storm. He dodged bolts of energy, slipped through narrow gaps in the swirling clouds, and twisted his ship in ways that made it impossible for the enemy to predict his moves. One by one, the pirate ships struggled to follow. Some were hit by the storm's deadly forces, their engines ripped apart, their weapons destroyed. Others crashed into invisible waves of gravity, broken and silent. The Valkyrie moved like a phantom, fast and unstoppable. Back on the Aurora Star, the Zilari crew watched in amazement. Captain Yara's voice trembled with hope. "He is a ghost in the storm," she whispered, "a force no one can catch." Elias pushed the Valkyrie harder, feeling the ship shake under the storm's pressure. But he didn't slow down. Every second he stayed in the storm, fewer enemy ships remained. The storm's dangerous waves crashed against the remaining pirate ships, breaking them apart one by one. Elias knew he was winning, but he also knew he couldn't stay in the storm forever. The Valkyrie's systems were taking damage, and he needed to get back to the Aurora Star. Suddenly, a warning alarm sounded. Sensors showed a large group of enemy ships approaching from behind, faster and more dangerous than before. Elias's eyes narrowed. He realized the pirates were trying to surround him, cutting off his escape. He smiled. Not today. With a sharp twist, he sent the Valkyrie spinning into a sudden dive. The enemy ships fired missiles and energy beams, but Elias dodged them. All. The storm's power helped him. Gravity waves pulled enemy ships off course, and powerful energy bolts from the storm struck some of the attackers directly. The remaining pirates scrambled to regroup, but Elias was already preparing his next move. He powered up the Valkyrie's engines to full. In a brilliant flash, the fighter shot through a narrow gap in the storm's edge and burst into open space. The pirates were left behind, battered and confused. Elias took a deep breath, feeling the tension leave his body. He looked up at the Aurora Star's location, where the Zalari crew was still repairing their ship. "We're not done yet," Elias said quietly, "but they'll have to work harder to catch me now." Back on the Aurora Star, the crew cheered. Repairs were nearly complete, and their hope was stronger than ever. Captain Yara sent a message to Earth Command, her voice full of respect and gratitude. "Commander Elias Mercer has saved us all. Earth is stronger than we ever imagined." Elias prepared to return to the Aurora Star, but his mind raced. The battle had shown him a new truth. The galaxy was watching Earth now. They had underestimated humans for too long. As he flew back toward the cargo ship, Elias knew this was only the beginning. Bigger challenges awaited. But for now, he had won a vital battle, and proved that humanity was a force to be reckoned. With the Valkyrie slowly docked with the Aurora Star, its engines cooling as the pilot prepared to step inside the alien ship. Commander Elias Mercer's heart was steady, but his mind was full of questions. He had come to save this crew, but now he was about to meet the beings he had fought to protect. The airlock hissed open, and Elias stepped into the large cargo vessel. The Zalari crew awaited him in the main chamber. Tall, graceful beings with smooth, pale blue skin and eyes that reflected the light like gemstones. Their faces showed both relief and cautious curiosity. Captain Yara stepped forward, her voice calm but filled with gratitude. "Commander Mercer, you saved our lives. Your skill and bravery are beyond anything we expected." Elias nodded. "I'm just doing what I can. No one should be left to face danger alone." The crew smiled softly. They had heard stories of humanity, some good, some dismissive, but meeting this human changed everything. Elias was not just a fighter, he was a protector. The ship's engineers worked quickly to repair the Aurora Star's damaged systems. Elias helped where he could, using the Valkyrie's tools and his own knowledge to assist the Zalari. As repairs progressed, communication between Elias and the Zalari improved. Their language was strange, but advanced translation devices made conversations possible. Captain Yara asked, "Why would your people risk so much for us? We are strangers." Elias thought for a moment before answering. "Because that's what humans do. We protect those who cannot protect themselves. We believe in helping others, no matter where they come from." His words surprised the Zalari crew. Many had never heard such honesty and warmth from a species they considered young and inexperienced. "We are honored," said one crew member softly. "Your courage brings hope to more than just us." Meanwhile, Earth Command monitored the situation closely. Commander Leah Vasquez contacted Elias through the ship's communication link. "You did well, Hawk," Leah said. "The Zalari are impressed. This could be the start of something big." Elias smiled faintly. "I hope so, but we need to be careful. Not everyone in the galaxy will welcome us." Back on the Aurora Star, the atmosphere shifted from fear to cautious optimism. The Zalari shared information about their culture, their history, and the dangers they faced from the Qatari pirates. Captain Yara explained, "The Qatari are not just thieves. They work for powerful groups that watch the galaxy closely. They see Earth as a new player, unpredictable and dangerous." Elias listened carefully. "Then we need to be ready. Earth can't be caught off guard." The Zalari nodded. "Your presence here changes the balance. It shows others that humans are more than just a young race." For the first time, Elias felt the weight of his mission beyond just saving a single crew. He was part of a larger story, one that could shape the future of the galaxy. As the Aurora star's systems hummed back to life, Elias prepared to return to Earth with the Zalari crew. They planned to start formal talks between their people, building a bridge of trust and cooperation. Before leaving, Captain Yara clasped Elias's hand. "Thank you, human. You have our respect and friendship." Elias looked her in the eyes. "And you have Earth's." As the two ships separated, Elias felt hope growing stronger. The galaxy was no longer a place of distant stars and unknown dangers. It was a place where humans could belong, as warriors, friends, and protectors. But the shadows of the Qatari and the powerful groups behind them still loomed. Elias knew the fight was far from over. For now, though, humanity had made its first step among the stars, and it was a step full of promise. Back in the dark corners of the galaxy, far from the bright stars where the Aurora star had found safety, something stirred. Hidden ships drifted silently among the asteroid fields, their shadows blending with the cold void. These were the vessels of the Syndicate, a secret and powerful group that controlled much of the galaxy's illegal trade and hired mercenaries like the Qatari pirates. The Syndicate's leaders had been watching the recent battle with growing concern. They had sent the Qatari to test humanity, to see if Earth was weak and easy to intimidate. Instead, they found a warrior. The news of Commander Elias Mercer's bravery spread quickly through their hidden networks. Many laughed at first, thinking a single human pilot could not matter. But as more reports came in, their laughter turned to worry. One leader, known only as the Shadow, watched the images of the battle on a large screen. His eyes were cold and calculating. "This human fights like a storm," he said softly. "Not like a child, but like a true warrior. This changes everything." His advisors nodded. The Syndicate had always underestimated Earth, thinking it too small and young to pose a threat. Now they knew their mistake. "We must move carefully," the Shadow said. "If humans care enough to risk themselves for others, they are dangerous. They could unite the galaxy against us." The Syndicate began planning. More ships were prepared, mercenaries hired, and spies sent to watch Earth's growing power. They would not let humanity become a threat without a fight. Meanwhile, aboard the Aurora Star, Elias and the Zalari crew were finishing their repairs. The ship was ready to return home, but the mood was tense. Captain Yara spoke quietly to Elias. "The Syndicate's reach is long. They watch all corners of space, waiting for weakness." Elias nodded. "We can't let them win. Earth must be ready." The Zalari agreed to share their knowledge and technology with Earth to help prepare for what might come. For the first time, an alliance was forming, not just to fight pirates, but to stand against a hidden enemy. Back on Earth, Commander Leah Vasquez held a meeting with her top officers. "We have proof now. The galaxy is watching us, and not all of it friendly. We must strengthen our defenses and build alliances." Leah's voice was firm. "Elias showed us what humans can do alone, but together, we can be unstoppable." Plans were made to send diplomats to the Zalari homeworlds and to prepare fleets for defense. Training programs were expanded, and new ships designed. Earth was ready to take its place among the stars, but in the quiet of his quarters, Elias thought about the future. The fight was just beginning. The Syndicate was dangerous and clever. They would try to divide, to deceive, and to destroy. Yet, Elias felt a fire inside him, a hope that humans could face whatever came next. Not because they were the strongest, but because they cared enough to stand and fight. As the Aurora Star set course for the Zalari home, Elias looked out at the stars. The galaxy was vast and full of mystery, but now, humanity was part of that. Great story, and no shadow, no matter how dark, could stop the light of a single brave soul. Commander Elias Mercer returned to Earth as a hero. The mission that began with a single distress call had become a story told across star systems. Story of courage, skill, and hope. But Elias did not see himself as a hero. To him, it was never about glory. It was about doing what was right. As the Valkyrie landed in the busy Earth spaceport, crowds cheered. People from all over the world watched the news feeds, amazed that, A lone human pilot had saved an alien crew and faced down ruthless enemies. Leah Vasquez greeted Elias with a proud smile. "You showed the galaxy who we are." Elias nodded. "It wasn't just me. It was everyone who helped me. The people who built this ship, the teams who trained me, the support back home. We all fought together." The story of the Aurora Star and its crew spread quickly. The Zalari sent messages of thanks and friendship, and Earth prepared for new diplomatic talks. Humans were no longer strangers in the galaxy. They were protectors. But Elias knew the challenges ahead. The Syndicate's shadow still loomed. The secret groups watching Earth were cautious, but alert. They had seen that humans were not easy to scare or control. In quiet moments, Elias thought about the meaning of his mission. It was not just a fight against pirates. It was a symbol of humanity's place in the stars. He remembered Captain Yara's words, "You have our respect and friendship." Those words echoed in his mind. They were a promise, one that meant humans were not alone. Earth's leaders took the message seriously. Plans to build stronger fleets and share technology with alien allies moved quickly. Training centers expanded, and new pilots followed Elias's example, ready to defend Earth and its friends. Across the galaxy, stories of the Hawks spread. On distant planets, humans were no longer called primitive or weak. They were called warriors, strong, brave, and kind. Some feared humans, others admired them. But all knew one thing. If you threatened the weak or innocent, a human might come to their aid. Elias's actions inspired a new era. It was a time when Earth stood tall among the stars, not as a small world, but as a protector of peace. In the quiet of his quarters, Elias looked at a photo of the Aurora Star's crew. They had trusted him when no one else would come. He promised himself to honor that trust every day. The galaxy was wide and full of unknown dangers, but Elias felt ready. He was not just one pilot. He was a symbol, a reminder that courage and kindness could change the course of history. As new ships launched into space and new alliances formed, the echo of one brave human's actions spread far and wide, and in that echo was a warning. If you threaten the weak, a human will come.